You think the Pink Panther is just a pink cat, but the 1969 TV show hides tiny choices that shaped decades of animation. A title sequence idea turned into an empire of shorts, music, narrators, and strange spin-off segments. In the next minutes, you'll uncover 14 verified facts that feel like secrets, yet were always on screen. Watch closely, because the quietest character left the loudest trail. Fact 1. Born in the titles, the Panther started as animated credits. Freeze right there. This character didn't start as a normal cartoon lead. In 1963, producer-director Blake Edwards wanted an animated title sequence that could move to Henry Mancini's Sly theme, so he called animation leaders David H. DePatie and Friz Freleng. Their crew drew many Panther options, and Edwards chose a design by layout artist Holly Pratt. Historians repeat the wild detail. Edwards was shown around 80 designs before he pointed at Pratt's Panther and said, "That's it." That pick locked long legs, a small head, and calm posture that sell emotion through pantomime. The Panther didn't need dialogue. One pause and one eyebrow did the job. Pratt later worked at DePatie Freleng and is often credited as a co-creator of the character's look. A few minutes of titles created a mascot strong enough to demand its own shorts, but that wasn't everything. Fact 2. A studio from a shutdown. How DePatie Freleng was created. Here's the part hiding under the paint. The studio was born from a shutdown. In May 1963, Warner Brothers closed its cartoon unit. Executive David H. DePatie and director-producer Friz Freleng answered by forming DePatie Freleng Enterprises in Burbank. They started with commercials and animated title work, using small crews and tight deadlines. A Warner executive let them lease the former cartoon facility with equipment, so production could begin immediately. That background trained the team to think in clean layouts and readable staging. When Blake Edwards asked for the Panther titles, DePatie and Freleng delivered a character built for clarity and rhythm. That success pushed the company into animated shorts, where budgets forced smart shortcuts, reuse, simplify, and hit the beat. That same mindset later shaped the 1969 TV package. And what came next surprised everyone. Fact 3. The first short won an Oscar. The Pink Fink, 1964. The first standalone short didn't just succeed, it grabbed the top prize. The Pink Fink premiered in December 1964 as the first Pink Panther short. Friz Freleng directed it, Holly Pratt is credited as co-director, and David H. DePatie and Freleng produced it. Writer John W. Dunn built a simple color battle. The little man wants a house painted blue, while the Panther keeps turning everything pink. Composer William Lava scored the action, and Mancini's theme reinforced the character's identity. The result won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short, a rare win for a brand new series. The short shows the studio's rulebook forming, bold silhouettes, minimal clutter, and gags that read instantly without words. Blue versus pink becomes a visual compass that guides every beat. You're watching design decisions become a language, and once that language worked, the franchise could grow fast. But the next detail changes the whole picture. Fact 4. Mancini's theme was a timing map for animation. Listen once and you'll catch the secret grid. The music is a timing map. Henry Mancini composed the Pink Panther theme, and the Panther's movement in the titles was timed to that beat. The tune later won 3 Grammy Awards, and the famous tenor sax line was played by Plas Johnson. Mancini explained he gave the animators a steady tempo, so accents in the music could land on exact actions. The theme was also nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Score. That is why the Panther feels classy even when nothing huge happens. His walk, stops, and smirks map onto rhythm. In later shorts and TV packages, the theme stayed as a signature, while composers like William Lava and Walter Green built extra scoring and variations around it. The melody isn't background, it's the character's spine, and that's where the real mystery starts. Fact 5. He was silent, except when he spoke. Sink pink, pink ice. Most viewers swear the Panther never talks, but that's not fully true. Early shorts kept him silent on purpose, relying on pantomime. Yet 2 theatrical entries broke the rule. Sink Pink gives him a single spoken line, and Pink Ice lets him speak throughout. Both used voice work by impressionist Rich Little, and sources note he modeled the sound on David Niven's tone. This was a test of identity. If the Panther speaks, he risks becoming a normal cartoon lead. If he stays silent, every eyebrow lift and long pause becomes language. After the experiment, the series returned to silence for most entries, letting music and effects carry the joke across languages. That choice also made the character easier to export and repackage. Silence turns into a business advantage, not just a style. And once weekly television arrived, that advantage became obvious. But the story takes a sharp turn next. Fact 6. 1969's TV format was a sandwich of shorts plus bumpers. The 1969 TV show was a magic sandwich. The Pink Panther show premiered on NBC on September 6, 1969, produced by Mirish Films and DePatie Freleng Enterprises. A typical half hour held 3 shorts, 2 Pink Panther entries with 1 inspector entry between them. Because of available shorts, 2 episodes flipped that order. To make the pieces feel connected, the studio added bumper segments, with announcer Marvin Miller narrating and speaking to the Panther as if he were off camera. Some bumpers were newly animated, and some reused footage from existing shorts, then added new narration and fresh incidental music. That is how you create a new show without redrawing everything. The result feels continuous, even though it's modular. This structure also lets producers swap segments if needed, keeping the pace tight for Saturday mornings. A simple wrapper hides a complex assembly line, and the next fact hides in plain sight. Fact 7. Bumpers used new animation, plus recycled footage. Here's the upside-down truth. New Panther shorts were often made for television first. After the show began, Pink Panther shorts produced after 1969, often described as starting with a fly in the pink, were made for both broadcast and theatrical release, and they typically appeared on television before later distribution by United Artists. That reverses the usual assumption that theaters came first. It also shapes storytelling. Television has breaks, so gags must land quickly and clearly. Weekly schedules demand steady output, pushing artists toward bold shapes, simple staging, and repeatable timing tricks. Depardieu-Freleng used that pipeline to grow an umbrella of other short series inside the same package. This is why the brand could feel endless without feeling stale. The Panther became a gateway label, not just a character. And when you spot the gateway, you start noticing who walks through it next. But there was one more trick in the package. Fact 8. TV first pipeline. Some shorts aired on TV before theaters. Watch the speed change. It's deliberate. In the original format, the inspector sits between 2 Panther shorts, and the contrast is the joke. The Panther moves with long holds and clean poses. The inspector runs, flails, and crashes through scenes at speed. Episode guides credit Pat Harrington Jr. as the inspector's voice, and the shorts use recurring characters like Sergeant Dudu and the Chief. The inspector shorts existed as their own series before joining the TV package, which helps explain why their rhythm feels like a different show. This split format also helped production planning. Panther shorts can reuse calm poses, while inspector shorts demand denser action and more cuts. 1/2 hour delivers 2 speeds, and that keeps attention locked. When your brain relaxes into cool silence, the show snaps into chaos, then snaps back, and the next reveal is easy to miss. Fact 9. The inspector's fast pace was a built-in contrast and a key voice. This one is a stealth joke. The Ant and the Aardvark is voice comedy wrapped in simple drawings. As the TV package evolved, Depardieu-Freleng added this short series under the same umbrella. Episode guides describe the Ant as sounding like Dean Martin and the Aardvark as sounding like Jackie Mason, with both voices performed by John Biner. That choice sells character instantly and saves animation effort because the dialogue rhythm carries emotion the drawings don't need to over-explain. The calm Ant and the frustrated Aardvark mirror the Panther's core engine. One stays smooth, the other melts down. And because it's a chase format, it fits short runtimes perfectly. The umbrella approach also let the studio test new comedy flavors without risking the main icon. Viewers often didn't notice the handoff, they just kept watching. But that wasn't everything. Fact 10. The Ant and the Aardvark hid celebrity-style voice parody. A tiny title can rewrite a cartoon's world without redrawing a frame. The umbrella included the Tijuana Toads shorts, but sources note they were also redubbed as Texas Toads in some broadcasts. Same animation, new name, new vibe. That shows how TV presentation can reshape meaning at the surface level. Depardieu-Freleng used this flexible packaging across many segments, including Hoot Kloot, Mr. Jaw, Roland and Ratfink, The Dogfather, plus spin-offs like The Blue Racer and Crazy Legs Crane. The Pink Panther became less a single series and more a rotating label that could host many short formats, keeping production flexible week to week. This also means the show you remember might be a different mix than someone else's reruns. The wrapper stays familiar while the contents shift quietly, and what came next surprised everyone. Fact 11. Tijuana Toads became Texas Toads in some broadcasts. Some of the missing beats were not mistakes, they were edits. As the TV package matured, sources note that certain shorts were re-edited for broadcast by omitting rougher moments to make them more family-friendly. Viewers rarely notice because the cuts are designed to feel seamless. But in silent comedy, timing is everything. Remove one beat and a gag can weaken, or a chase can suddenly feel too fast. The bumper system made this easy to hide. If a short became shorter, a bumper could stretch, and narration and music could bridge gaps. It proves the show was a living package tuned for network standards. That's also why different airings can feel slightly different even when the title is the same. A tiny cut changes the feel of a whole scene. And once you notice editing, you start noticing the next big experiment, one that changed the show's entire size. But the next detail changes the whole picture. Fact 12. Quiet broadcast edits lights changed timing for Saturday mornings. For 1 year, the Panther's world ballooned into a 90-minute monster. In 1976, the package was revamped into a 90-minute format titled It's the All-New Pink Panther Laugh-and-a-Half-Hour-and-a-Half Show, introducing Mr. Jaw. Sources describe a hosted segment where comedian Lenny Schultz read jokes and letters from viewers, while the block mixed many short series. That change reveals a real retention problem. 90 minutes demands constant resets. So the producers leaned on the umbrella method, rotate segments, keep the Panther as the brand anchor, and add a novelty character like Mr. Jaw. The experiment did not last. Sources note the package later returned to shorter formats. This is a rare moment where a cartoon package tries to behave like a variety block, using non-stop switches to hold attention. Even if you never saw it, it explains why the umbrella kept expanding. And that's where the real mystery starts. Fact 13. The show expanded to a 90-minute variety block, 1976. Here's a fact that sounds fake until you check it. The Panther studio also handled lightsaber effects. Freleng Enterprises is remembered for shorts and title sequences, yet credible studio histories state it produced the lightsaber effects for Star Wars, 1977. That matters because it proves the studio's craft wasn't limited to character animation. They could do precise, frame-by-frame optical work and controlled graphic motion. It also helps explain why their title sequences and bumpers look so clean. Pipelines for crisp edges, steady timing, and tight synchronization. Behind the scenes, that meant the same company could jump between commercials, titles, shorts, specials, and effects, keeping the business stable. And stability matters in weekly television. You need money to keep composers scoring variations, artists drawing layouts, and editors assembling packages. The Panther brand survived because the studio could keep producing, but the story takes a sharp turn next. Fact 14. The corporate shift. Marvel bought the studio and the rappers changed. The final reveal is business, and it explains why the show keeps changing rappers. Freleng Enterprises was acquired by Marvel around 1980 and renamed Marvel Productions, ending the original DFE era. That move mattered because rights and distribution became split across different owners and agreements. Even during the classic run, Pink Panther shorts were distributed by United Artists, while television packages depended on network deals and later syndication. That is why the same short can appear with different title cards, logos, or package names in reruns. Sources also note the NBC run lasted until 1978, then the package moved to ABC for a final network season. The real show is a chain of shorts, music cues, and bumpers stitched together by DiPatia, Freleng, Pratt, and Mancini. Once you see that chain, you can't unsee it, and every rewatch becomes a hunt for hidden seams. And the next fact hides in plain sight. Now you can see the Panther's real magic: design, timing, and packaging. Hawley Pratt's clean shapes, Friz Freleng, and David DiPatia's choices, and Henry Mancini's beat worked like gears. Nothing here was random. Rewatch 1/2 hour and you'll spot recycled bumpers, retimed gags, and hidden segments. Once you notice them, the show feels like a puzzle you can't stop solving.